I think the media is going to discover Web3. I think institutions are going to be forced to discover Ethereum. And when the media discovers Web3, they're going to go, hey, what's this Ethereum all about? You mean there's an alternative banking system being built?
BitSwap is the hottest new way to trade tokens. Crawling all the top decentralized exchanges, BitSwap will get you the very best price and value for your trades. BitSwap is changing the game. Try it now at bitswapdex.com. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the largest crypto channel in all the interwebs. My name is Ben. Every day on this channel, I show you how to make money in cryptocurrency. If you like money in crypto, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Guys, today we're going to be looking at some new features from Token Metrics that are going to help you make the best decisions during your coin research. Sat down with Bill Noble to talk about a gigantic change that they've made that should lead to more money for you. Specifically, we're going to look at how this called the Ethereum move and how exciting it is that we're heading to new all-time highs for Ethereum. Now, if you want to check out Token Metrics, you can do that by visiting bitboycrypto.com/deals. Scroll down to Token Metrics and get signed up. All right, guys, let's see what Bill had to say. Hey, guys, I am very pleased today to be joined by one of my favorite people out there and one of my favorite companies out there. This is Bill Noble from Token Metrics, our coin research of site. He's always got some excellent insight. Former Goldman Sachs.
I was an analyst on their equity derivatives desk.
That's
thank
what
you
it
for
is.
the promotion.
But you definitely have done a lot of it, a lot of big things with Token Metrics, and we know it works so awesome. Today, obviously, is ETHster, as everyone knows. Not when we're recording, but when you guys will be watching this, and I hope we're in the midst of an ETHster pump. You guys know we love that word, ETHster. So, Bill, tell us, what are you seeing for Ethereum right now? And I know Token Metrics has kind of some new trend analysis kind of stuff that I think is very favorable for Ethereum. So let's start out. What are the prospects for Ethereum right now?
Well, I mean, right now, Ether is doing a tremendous job of recovering versus Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And that could actually be the start of a monster move. Frequently, when Ether sort of sits in a range historically, it's been the prelude to a takeoff.
Yeah.
There are a lot of positive catalysts for Ether, as people know. So you want to be on the train, and you definitely don't want to get in front of it. Now, at Token Metrics, we've got something new called a visual trends indicator. What this does is provides you with moving average signals, but the moving averages have like a machine learning spice to it.
Yeah.
And it keeps you from over trading, and it provides you with something that, as my boss, Ian Bellina, says, even your parents and grandparents can see and understand.
Yeah.
Now with Ether, okay, there was a bullish signal in early March, and most notable when Ether did kind of its stop running puke, the indicator did not change. Wow. And it kept you involved. So, if you really want to have ETHster, as you said, right, the Token Metrics visual trends indicator and some of our new portfolios, particularly for Uniswap monthly, have got a very decent chunk allocated to Ether. So don't get, I don't think you should get in the way. And it would be funny going back to Thanksgiving and Christmas. I know you've got an international audience, but crypto loves to make big moves on holidays.
It does. Not Valentine's Day, but other holidays it did. Now, I did want to ask you about this for just Token Metrics in general. If anybody wants to sign up for Token Metrics, you guys can head on over to bitboycrypto.com/deals. We got Token Metrics deal there for you guys. But I noticed, are the price predictions gone? Because I was looking through there earlier, and is this new representation of the trend analysis, is this replacing what were the price predictions?
Yes, this is a replacement and an upgrade of the price prediction. We're trying to give you something, more tangible. Right now, we're running it across 600 coins. In a month or so, we'll be running it across 6,000 coins. Also, this visual trends indicator is going to go and add some spice to our quant grading system.
Yeah.
So the machine learning and the AI guys have got some new gumbo cooking.
Yeah, I love it. You know, what's funny is I actually just this morning was putting together my top coins for April video that, you know, the people will have now watched a few days ago. And, you know, I was looking for the price predictions. I liked looking at those, and I stumbled across this. I was like, oh, I bet this is the new replacement for that. Because, you know, the thing is when it comes to price predictions, you know, they can be really so far off sometimes. And even if they're 90% correct, I think people might get bad entry points sometimes. I think it's better to kind of look at the trends and chunks. And when things are bullish, you know, you can get entries and you can get in. But then when you see those bearish indicators, you know, that's good time to sell and kind of hit the pause button.
Yeah. And for people who like kind of a more active trading theme, we've actually got this, you know, for slower moving hodlers, right? And we've also got a faster version that's actually going to provide more signals. Now, you might also get more false signals, but you might also get some really good ones. So for people who like that short-term thinking, you know, we kept you in mind when we upgraded.
Yeah, that's good. Because I know most of my people have the attention span of a goldfish.
Yes, in crypto, there is a lot of shiny object syndrome, and we want to give people the best tools possible and help them think rather than chase.
Yeah. And I think you made a really good point though, or a little bit earlier, going back to talking about Ethereum. And this is the thing, like people really get confused because Bitcoin steals so much of the attention, so much of the spotlight when it's doing well. You know, this year, Ethereum has still outperformed Bitcoin. And we talk about it a lot, even last month, which is crazy as things look. You know, Ethereum still outperformed Bitcoin in terms of its value. It made progress on Bitcoin, which is hard for people to believe. And it just shows you like the norm is Ethereum outperforming it. And the thing is you really hit the nail on the head when you said that it coils up for big moves. Bitcoin will make more gradual movement, but Ethereum will go stagnant for a long time and then just kind of explode out of nowhere. And we've seen that all throughout, you know, several of the market cycles. And I think we're going to see that again. And I guess that's kind of what you're expecting as well.
Yeah. Same type of price action in Ether, same theme, right? Sit, bore everyone to tears, and then go.
Yeah.
Right. It's probably a tough trade. Frequently the best trades are the toughest trades, and it's tough to come in and pay 1,900 for Ether, which is probably why it'll wind up being a good trade. I think the media is going to discover Web3. I think institutions are going to be forced to discover Ethereum. And when the media discovers Web3, they're going to go, hey, what's this Ethereum all about? You mean there's an alternative banking system being built? Right? So when this hits the legacy press, I mean, I know, crypto world knows, but when it hits legacy, there's a whole new horde of buyers out there that when ETH, as you noted on one of our live streams or panels a long time ago, when Ethereum becomes a household name, what's its price going to be? 1950 or I don't know, 5,000
or more. I will find it very highly unlikely that Ethereum, my low target for Ethereum is $15,000 for this cycle. I mean, if you're looking at Bitcoin approaching $300,000, like a lot of people think. Now, look, if Bitcoin doesn't approach that number, if Bitcoin hits 120,000, then obviously Ethereum will not get close to those numbers. But I mean, I think most of us believe that, you know, we're replacing the legacy system. Bitcoin is going to be crushing it. There's so much attention. It's going, you know, the stock flow chart shows 290,000. You know, so I think Ethereum is going to go way higher than $5,000. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think Ethereum versus Bitcoin's got a shot at going to 0.1. Yeah, I think that's something like, you know, if you have like 120,000 Bitcoin, that's 5 to 6K for Ether. And then there's another way to think about Ether. You know, if you think about Theta, NFTs, and all these other altcoins that have just totally mooned and done a 2 or 3X, no one talks about the fact that there's no reason why Ether can't do a 2 or 3X or more. Yeah. I mean, other altcoins did it, and there's so much room between the market cap of Ether and Bitcoin, and why not?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's It's kind of silly, in my opinion, to think that, any other coin is going to unseat Ethereum right now during this cycle. Maybe 4 years from now, we'll see Cardano or Polkadot or, something else. But I think the base that Ethereum is building right now with the institutional investors, because, it's funny, as Michael Saylor said when he was on the show that, he can't possibly see institutional investors put money in Ethereum. And since he said that, we've seen more money flowing into Ethereum from the institutional side. You don't see, there's not CME futures getting launched for anything outside of Ethereum right now, other than, Bitcoin's already existed. So, I think that institutional argument for Ethereum is a very strong one. And I think that is what is going to make, the biggest difference for Ethereum in this bull run.
Yeah. I mean, you've had, your Cardanos and your Polkadots and your Binance coin rally. That's been like the Ethereum protest trade, right? And then people are going to sit and say, wait a minute, why are we protesting this? I mean, yeah, this rallies are okay, but why aren't we buying this?
Yeah.
Then there's this whole other idea with Bitcoin, okay, so you got a bunch of Bitcoin, and then the next game at the institutional level is, what kind of yield are you getting on it? How do you get a return on your Bitcoin? Well, guess what, folks? That Bitcoin is going to have to head into the Ethereum ecosystem, into DeFi, to get a return. You're not going to be able to just sit there with your Bitcoin over the next 12 months.
Yeah.
So, for the Bitcoin guys, you can politely look at them and say, sir, respectfully, you will be spending your money on altcoins, whether you like it or not. Web3 is coming and you will need a return.
It's so interesting. And it just backs up everything you said on this channel every time you came on here. Bank of America put out their report and they said they're not really threatened by Bitcoin. The Bitcoin's main value is going up. They're threatened by DeFi. They literally said, we are scared of what decentralized finance built on Ethereum is going to do. That's where people really just got to open their eyes and realize what's coming with Web 3.0. It's going to be huge. But Bill, as always, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Very happy to talk Ethereum with you, talk token metrics. Of course, if anybody wants to sign up for token metrics and get these type of insights, you guys can head on over to bitboycrypto.com/deals. Scroll down the token metrics page. Bill, anything you want to leave us with today?
Yeah, come visit us. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely.
And, stay with tokenmetrics.com, because we're going to provide you with the guidance that you need, whether you're an advanced crypto player or if you're new out there. We have something that can help you. So stay with us.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't go wrong with token metrics. That's why we love you guys. We use token metrics to make our picks every month, and it hasn't let us down in 2 years. So, Bill, as always, thank you for coming on the show. Guys, let us know down below in the comments what you guys want to see the next time Bill comes on, because I think we want to get you on the schedule maybe once a month coming on the show and talking, because these are such insightful interviews. So everybody, drop those comments down below. That's all I got. Be blessed. BitBoy out.